Hello, everyone. How are you? This is Favorites from October. This is things I've been grooving on over the last month. Let's start with decks, because, decks are decks. So, really, there's only one tarot deck this month and a couple other oracle decks. Sacred Rose. I've been reaching for Sacred Rose a lot lately. I've had it for a long time, but I really just have always loved this deck. I love how no one has eyeballs. Well, they have eyeballs, but no iris and pupil. Okay, now that logistical thing has been taken care of, I'm back with the Sacred Rose Tarot. It's an older deck for me. I had it since the 90s. Still love it. Still really groove on this deck so much. And over October, I found myself just kept reaching for it. So, cups. Beautiful colors. They're very saturated jewel tones. And, yeah, it's just a fun deck. Really enjoying it. As of late. It's interesting how, like, certain decks will kind of like you forget about. Three of Swords. I love it. Three of Swords, oddly enough, is one of the cards I really look at. I kind of have this soft spot for the Sword Suite and how it's portrayed, because it can be such a Debbie Downer. And it's so nice when the Debbie Downers, swords are portrayed beautifully. It's just, and sometimes Three Swords always kind of also makes me think of that bleeding heart stuff from Catholicism. It always has that kind of energy for me. But yeah, beautiful saturated colors. And like Pentacles too, you would think, because it has a lot of blue, come to think about it, because Pentacles blue, Swords blue. Cups has some blue in it. Wands not so much. That Pentacles isn't too blue. It's not like some of them where it's very color coded. Yeah, Five of Swords. It's a pretty deck. If you're looking for kind of a basic Rider-Waite Smith kind of type of thing, a Delio, I really enjoy it. I've enjoyed it for years. And probably will keep reaching for it. The next deck is Sacred Creators Oracle. This is a newer one for me. And this was put out by Chris Ann. I am grooving on it. There's the back. Ambush your fear with ferocious dream. Just some wonderful messages, simple graphics, soul on fire, and some very meaningful thing. And the book that comes with it, which is somewhere, totally rocks. It's not a little white book. It's a book that gives you like meaning of it, and then little exercises to make you process the actual card, which I love, because I do readings for people. I include thought prompts because I want my PDF reading to be interactive for you, and not something that's read and toss over. I'm not sure if these are supposed to be included, but I keep them in my deck. Something you toss over your shoulder and don't really think of it. I want people to engage with it. And one thing said over and over to me again is people read them again and again. I've known people who've like taken all the readings I've done for them and like go through them all. Go through like a little Beth reading thing. It's kind of funny. It was very sweet though. Feature artist. You are magic. Look at those cool hands. Beautiful watercolor kind of backgrounds on these. Book is just awesome too. So really, really, really enjoying this deck. I'm really happy I freaked out and bought it because I'm like, oh my God, what if it goes away and I can't get it ever again? Buy now. I'm very happy I acted on that impulse to buy it, because the first time it came out and then it was not out of print, but they sold out. And I'm like, bum, I should have ordered, because I kept seeing it on everyone's Insta feed. I'm like, I really like that deck. Why didn't I order that deck? And yeah, so I was really happy that it came, that she did another pre-order, and then I ordered it. The next Oracle deck is the Animal Kin Oracle. One of my friends gifted this to me, and I love this deck. It goes on my client, and I like that it just doesn't use European or American and European and or animals. It uses like kookaburra. Pretty. And I think she's in the southern hemisphere, so that also makes sense. But just because, you know, she also has, you know, things that don't live in the southern hemisphere. So, and unicorns. Beautiful, beautiful. I think they look like they were originally watercolors before they were scanned. So, let's get that fox. I have something in my eye, so I'll start blinking and watering. That is why... Oh, turtle's upside down. I've been using this on my client grid a lot this year. And just have been loving the themes and the meanings that keep popping up with this card, with this deck. I'm probably going to, when I do, the Get Crystal special starts December 1st, which is a massive reading that's geared for the year, where you get like intuitive 13 card reading for your year, and your year cards and your life personality cards, soul cards and stuff. But I always include a guide card. And for Get Crystal season, I tend to pick out one deck because I do more than one reading at a time. Well, not at a time. But there's a lot of them that get ordered. So I tend to pick out 2 decks for the major, one for the major, and then one for guide cards that year. And I think in this one's going to be guide cards this year for the Get Crystal special, which goes on sale December 1st to the 12th. Get Crystals are normally $111. It'll be going for $90. Pecker. I like woodpeckers. Beautiful, beautiful deck. The pictures are just gorgeous. And the little borders have meaning, and I can never remember what they mean. And here's Miss, what's this one? Oh, Seahorses is really pretty. Like a spider. But really, those are the main decks that I've been grooving on. And too, my own affirmation deck, which is silly as it seems, because every time I pull a card, I'm like, oh my God, it's so awesome. It's so awesome. It's so pretty. I think the page is currently done because I've been like rearranging my website again. Or still, actually really still. But, made a Stardust. This is the one I kept for myself. My magic. I think it's funny how those 2 are right on top. Because I have my prototype. I love my prototype. But this is the one that I kept for myself. It has beautiful Lunar Black by Daniel Smith on the back. Granulation. Oh, God. Just yum, 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 yum. But there are still, we still have some for sale. I'm going to go see if that page is up. Kind of think about it. And they're all different. They're all handmade. If you're in a foreign country, you want to know how much it can cost to ship, you can always just, message me. Yeah, I'm the low tech girl here. The soul mouse. So, I stunned myself with my own work. It's kind of just how it is. I just look and go, wow, those are pretty. I really, really love how they turned out. And I really don't know, and I'm going to do another round, frankly. I was thinking next year, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking I might do some oracle tiles from my goddess oracle that I created for me ages ago. Okay, so that's ducks. So, as of late, where'd it go? There it is. Stabilo pencil. Stabilo Marxol. See, the Stabilo Marxol and the Lyra water soluble graphite have been two things I have reached for over and over and over again. I also got like this. What is it? Oh, it's hiding. There it is. I got this awesome pencil extender. The Stabilo is a little small for it, but so you can, you know, this one won't fit, but because a lot of times, you know, artists, you don't like, this is how you write, is how you hold it, but if you look at a lot of times, artists are like holding onto the end and use very far away from what they're drawing with their hand, and that's because it makes it looser and not so tight. But I got a pencil extender. I guess that's a favorite thing too, because I'm really grooving on it. Been using it quite a bit. But the Stabilo Marxol, this one's black. I want to get a cup red, and I'm not sure what other colors are out there. I have a white one too, but I use my black one all the time. And this one too. It's a graphite crayon by Lyra. It's water soluble. I have a non-water soluble one too, but I use this one much more than I use my non-water soluble. And this one creates great shading. It's like your first underlayers. Oh, and this just, you can do so many things with this. It writes on everything. And two, it's that you can spray it down. Thank you, Effie Wild, for the spray the Stabilo idea in one of her classes I took. And it just kind of pulls and does the yumminess. So those are two things I really just keep reaching for over and over this month. Also, what kind of surprised me, I've been taking an Annie Hammond art class, close up. And she uses a lot more heavy-bodied acrylic. And for a long while, I've been moving away from heavy-bodied acrylics, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, I need a heavy body. So heavy-body acrylics in their forms. These are a little looser than the Liquitex and the golden. This one's golden, Daleroni, and Liquitex. But really reaching for my heavy bodies and want to add a few more to my collection. Hold on one second. Because one thing I've been doing too is creating, I'm afraid to tip this, creating a wet palette with the heavy bodies. This one's probably about at the end of its life. And it lets you paint for longer with your mixed colors. So you're not constantly having to mix things, because things like the fluid and the high flow by Golden dry so fast, especially out here. I'm out west in Montana when we're not super dry, but we're not particularly humid either. So it's not like Salt Lake. Salt Lake's so fast, crazy fast. And Liquitex has what they call soft body, but they're very different from the Golden fluid. I thought they would be similar when I bought them, and they're not. Because really it's kind of like fluid's very quite fluid. Soft body is kind of like in between the Golden fluid and the heavy body. It holds a shape, but it's much more loose than this. It won't hold a point. Does that make sense? This comes from my baking experience. You know, like when you're whipping egg whites, you know, points. Yeah, but heavy body. Really grooving on heavy body. Here's well, the work with that I've been creating with the heavy body. I love my little kitty. Meow meow. Girl with cat. And this one uses a gray chalk pastel, the water-soluble crayon is a great part of what makes up the shadows underneath. And then along with some heavy body and some Caran d'Ache in there. Lots of collage underneath at the moment. I love how she turned out. I was going to put her up for sale, but I just can't do it. I think she's mine. Oh, and by the way, these two pieces will be going up for sale on the site if you are interested in either of them. Little kitties with rosy cheeks. So my mom, she's like, your cat's got rosy cheeks. I'm like, I know. I got the biggest compliment. She got called whimsical. I'm like, oh, I can call my work whimsical. I like how she turned out. She's got a power in her skin. But yeah, she's mine. I need to get a frame for her. I want to frame her and put her on my wall. And this one's a work in progress. This is actually an old piece I started doing something else with and didn't like it for that project and it's been sitting around. And now I got, yeah, people are going places. She's in a scary spot and I'm trying to resolve her because the reference picture, the eyes are not on the same plane. But not, I think mine might have ended up too high. We have to resolve her. She's in an awkward place, but, and the other, this leads us to the other thing, which is reference pictures. Using tons of reference pictures. This one for Azam Ali. Here's my, I don't know if I should show her. She's my friend. She's not a public figure. But reference pictures, that's the only two I have up here at the moment. But really using reference pictures for the shadows as opposed to just pulling out of my brain pan. So kind of just switching some modes with some continuing themes in my art. And it's been very exciting to paint more loosely and not so, this is how I do it. Even if I'm changing colors, it's like, so it feels really good to have that looseness happening. And the last thing is calendars. I've been on calendar mode. It's the end of the year. Welland's Witch's calendar. I got it 2017. Actually, I had like one from like years ago. Bought one of the early ones and really liked it. And I needed more info last year. And because I have that calendar, I got a, what are you? I also bought their daily planetary guide since I'm doing the monthly energy buzz subscription next year. I need a little more planety stuff. Not that the Llewellyn's pretty much has almost, not in detail like this one, but has most of this stuff in it too. So you don't need both. I have my Filofax, which is around here somewhere. I don't know. Oh, it's buried under a pile of stuff that I use. Really, calendars are what keep me all my balls in the air right now. I don't like the digital ones, unfortunately. I really tried to like them, and I didn't, so we went back to paper. Okay, that is the favorites for October. Yeah, I'll be back. I went 2 months in a row. Freaky. All right. I'll see you next month with November favorites. See you later. Bye-bye.